Hey, welcome to the Django Brew podcast, a new podcast about our favorite web framework for perfectionists, Django. I'm Adam, a backend developer that uses Django at my day job, and then at night I use Django to build open source libraries and a bunch of fun websites.
Hello, Djangonauts. My name is Sangeeta, and I'm a backend developer that loves Python and Django. And I work together with Adam at our day job. And, we both decided that there is no such thing as too much Django content out there. So here we are with a brand new Django podcast.
And we know that there are a few other Django podcasts floating out there, and we listen to all of them and we love them all. And we just thought, yeah, let's make more. There can never be enough. We want to provide some useful tips for working with Django, libraries, third-party packages, anything that sort of pops into our mind that we want to talk about, that is on the table for this podcast.
It is called the Django Brew podcast. So I think we have to talk about coffee as well, I think.
I think our next episode should just be all about coffee.
Yeah, all the different types. Okay, gotcha. Making a note now. So maybe we should tell the listeners how we met. I mean, we do work together.
I think that is probably a good idea. I know everyone is dying to hear this story.
This incredible story. Okay. So at our day job, there was a really great program created to onboard junior developers. It was like an internal boot camp where these new devs would learn Python and Django and a bunch of other skills. And they would rotate among our different tech teams to really get a sense of how we do things at our company. And for the rest of us, we could sign up as mentors.
And we were both mentors.
Yes, we were. And we helped create content for the program by choosing some topics that we were interested in and creating presentations for them. I remember doing 3 of them. One was about creating a good pull request. Another was about one of our internal Django packages for maintaining OAuth. And then the other one we did was Django class-based views versus function-based views. The eternal debate that is probably never going to be resolved, ever. But I think I know why. Do you know why?
No, why?
Because it depends.
It depends. Oh, no.
I think our presentation should have just been one slide that says it depends.
I
would have saved us a lot of time.
I would have been on board with that. Yeah, I can't believe you signed up to do this presentation with me and you had no idea what you were getting yourself into. You were just like so naively, blissfully ignorant of what you're going to deal with.
Exactly. But it was such a great experience. It was so fun looking back at all the rehearsals that we did, all of the dry runs, all of the slides that we put together, the demo project as well that we did. So overall, it was a great learning experience.
It was a lot of fun. I will say those presentations, they take so much time to build and practice, and it really makes me appreciate what conference speakers go through when they prepare a talk.
I was pretty nervous at the time, but looking back, probably wasn't that scary. But I'd say I'm always nervous for any sort of presentation.
Yeah, me too. I think it is something that I don't have a lot of practice in, and so it is hard, but I think people get better with it over time.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing that I learned during that presentation was that Sangeeta has the best meme collection in the history of the world.
Wow. Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting that. That was probably the best compliment that I've ever received. So thank you so much. I mean, I do manage my own meme collection on my phone. So I have a meme about collecting memes as well, which I still need to share with you.
Very meta. Very meta.
And one thing that I learned about Adam is that he hates or highly dislikes class-based views. Shocker.
I feel like that's a little strong. I do like function-based views, though. I like that they're explicit versus implicit. That's a little shout out to the Zen of Python. I think I like function-based views because I started using Django before the class-based views were introduced. So I guess I'm just curious, how did you find out about Django and what did you use it for?
Yeah, sure. So let's go back in time a little. So it's 2014. I just came out of college and I'm looking for a developer job with little to no web development experience or skills. So my brother, who's also a software engineer, we were both navigating the job market at the same time. And we signed up to this recruitment company that offered to teach us Python and Django within the span of like 2 or 3 weeks and then help us find a job. So I just remember it being a lot of like new things. I think when you're a beginner diving into the world of web development, everything is so new and there's a lot to learn. And I don't think I truly appreciated what Django offered because I had nothing else to compare it to and it was all new to me. So imagine my shock when I found out that not every web framework has a built-in admin or a built-in ORM. I was like, what? What is this?
People don't know what they're missing.
I know, exactly. It was crazy. So anyway, so fast forward, the recruitment company didn't work out, but I took my newfound Django skills and really made it my go-to framework for building sites and building side projects. Fast forward a couple months in 2015, I attended my first Django Girls event in New York. It was the first ever Django Girls event in New York to begin with, so that was pretty exciting. I got to meet the two Olas that started Django Girls, and that was so fun. They're really nice and really smart. And I think at that point in time, I knew Django and I was building stuff with Django. And I really started to get a sense of how great Django's community is. I think that event really made me appreciate how friendly and how welcoming everyone in the Django community is. And I really started to love Django even more. So now I am using Django at my day job and talking about Django in a podcast. So I think it worked out well.
It did. That's really interesting. I didn't know that you went to a Django Girls. I participated as a teacher, helper, coach, yes, for one of them. And it was really fulfilling. And what you were saying about the Django community really rings true for me as well. I started using Django a really long time ago. In 2010, my friend knew an idea guy, which always run away from those people, but he wanted to start a startup. He pitched me and my friend over a lunch of tater-tots. And the idea was basically a website for house auctions, and the auctions would start at $1. So this was a really bad idea, but I was like, sure, I can help out. I will write some code on the nights and weekends, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll be a millionaire in a year. Spoiler, it didn't work out very well. However, I had been using C# at work, and I had been reading about this Django web framework at the time, and I wanted to try it out and see how it went. Fast forward 3 months later, I bailed from that sinking startup, but I had written a bunch of Python and my first probably really terrible Django project. That experience was really great using Django. So a few years later, a small team at work was given free rein to start a new web app from scratch. And I was a huge proponent of Django. I'm still not entirely sure how I convinced others to use Django, but I did. And we have been using Django at my day job ever since. So really, my love for Django all started because I wanted some free tater tots.
Wow, that is such an amazing story. I love that it all hinges around the fact that you love
Food.
potatoes.
Right.
Exactly.
It all hinges around food.
Exactly. I think, well, I love free stuff and I love tater tots, so I would have probably done the same thing like you. And also, thank you for pitching Django because if you hadn't done that, then I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. So that's crazy to think about. And yeah, $1 auctions. I'm not sure if that's just a bad idea or ahead of its time.
I would say not ahead of its time.
Okay.
No one should do this.
Been there, done that.
Right.
Adam has been there and done that. So we both use Django at our jobs, but fun fact, we never met in person until DjangoCon US 2023. And that was so exciting because we got to meet in person for the first time ever after
I
a couple
know.
years of being coworkers.
We talked to each other on Zoom like every day, and then it was like, oh, you're right there in front of me. It was
Yeah.
bizarre.
And that wasn't the only first for me. It was also my first in-person conference, which was, wow, again, really exciting. I attended DjangoCon virtually in 2022. So this was my first ever in-person conference. It was so amazing getting to see all of the speakers, getting to meet a lot of new people, and it was just a really nice experience all around. And we will actually dive more into this in the next episode. But really quick, Adam, how was your experience at DjangoCon US 2023?
Yeah, it was really great. I haven't been to an in-person conference in a couple of years, and so going back to one, I was just reminded how great the Jenga community is. The speakers were great. I learned a lot of stuff. I met a bunch of new people. But the best part of the conference was that we gave a lightning talk and we handed out Django stickers that you designed. And people were
Aw,
so happy and they loved them. And it
that was
just
the highlight for me.
it brought a huge smile to my face. People love free stickers. They love free stuff. I think
They
we've
love free tater tots. I mean,
yeah,
why are
people
they
love
gonna
free
love free
stuff.
stickers?
So that was really great, and that was definitely the highlight for me as well. I think we should talk about DjangoCon more on our next podcast, like you alluded to. So a little preview, sneak preview for the next one. But I do want to thank everyone for listening, and hopefully this is a fun and useful podcast for all you Djangonauts out there, and hopefully we can just give more to the Django community.
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening in to our first ever episode. We will see you in the next episode, and until then, bye!
Bye! I'm going to start again.
Let me just say that whole thing again. What am I saying again?
But the real benefit, no. You're welcome.